Hi, I'm Phil Curry. The purpose of this presentation is to introduce a model that I've developed. In fact, it has evolved over the past 40 years. I'll do my best to keep this brief, but there are a number of concepts that are important, and I don't want to take too many shortcuts with them. I'd be delighted to spend time with you to explain any aspect of this presentation to you in greater detail if you'd like. All I'd really like to achieve in this video are just these three objectives. From 1989 to 2014, I worked as a certified management consultant based in Toowoomba. As you can see from this slide, I completed something like 400 separate consultancy assignments, including a significant number of overseas trips for the purposes of gathering market intelligence or negotiating commercial arrangements for and on behalf of Australian clients. My 25 years as a consultant provided a deep understanding into how small to medium-sized Queensland enterprises are led by owners and managers, and really gave me the motivation to explore how I could better help them achieve their desired outcomes. During my time as a consultant, I undertook a number of virtual roles, which lasted up to 2 years. These allowed me to undertake research in domestic and international markets for clients, and in some instances, to work as part of their team to negotiate agreements on their behalf. These roles all contributed to my understanding of leadership, management, and the reasons why businesses might survive, thrive, or fail. Over all the years of consulting, I recognised that much of the work that I did was not acted on by clients. I really struggled with this because I identified many opportunities for businesses' profitability and growth that were simply overlooked. To help me understand what was going on, I embarked on my own journey of education that incorporated 2 master's degrees and then a PhD. My PhD investigated the role of organisational culture on small to medium-sized enterprises. The following few slides introduce the concepts that were included in my PhD research. Let's begin with organisational culture. The simplest definition I found of organisational culture is the way we do things around here. It turns out that organisational culture is often defined in terms of the 3 components you can see on the slide. But the most significant of these are the underlying beliefs of founders, owners, and senior management team members of an organisation. The reality is that the deeply held and often unspoken beliefs of owners, directors, and senior managers influence attitudes and behaviours of everything that occurs within a business, including, for example, who makes what decisions, the amount of autonomy team members have, all marketing decisions, including distribution channels, the products or services produced and their market positioning, safety, and in fact, everything. My PhD research taught me that it is simply not possible to make changes in the way an organisation manages its marketing unless the changes are driven by the most senior managers and their willingness to change is influenced by their beliefs. So, it's essential to understand and adjust beliefs before strategic and tactical market decisions can be successfully changed. This is a great model that explains how different types of beliefs influence and inform intention and behaviour. My PhD research identified that many of the beliefs that were preventing contemporary marketing and business management practices being adopted were in fact erroneous, and that these incorrect beliefs were getting in the way of organisational performance and achievement of better outcomes. Since my PhD research, I've spent a lot of time reflecting on the types of beliefs that might exist in the minds of senior management team members that could be getting in the way of contemporary business management practices. I've listed a few here, and perhaps you can think of others that may exist in your organisation or organisations with which you are familiar. My PhD was actually focused on organisational barriers to the effectiveness of marketing management. Market orientation is part of organisational culture, and the significance here is that unless the underlying beliefs of senior management are consistent with allowing the concept of market orientation to be practiced within their organisation, it probably won't be practiced. My PhD research uncovered many beliefs that get in the way of the application of contemporary approaches to marketing and management, and I can share these with you if you like. It turns out that adopting a market orientation can contribute significantly to the financial performance of businesses and to the morale and commitment of team members. To achieve those outcomes, businesses need to have systems in place to gather market intelligence and allow it to be shared amongst relevant team members within the business, so that the organisation can make timely and coordinated responses. It was surprising to me that the concept of market orientation was not taught in my Masters in Marketing or my MBA, but understandable when most of the research on the topic did not start until the early 1990s. Since my PhD and as a lecturer at University of Queensland Gatton campus, I had an interest in understanding how to facilitate learning in the classroom and also in organisations. This is because it seems apparent to me that learning is the best way to correct incorrect beliefs that are getting in the way of organisations adopting contemporary business practices. This table describes the characteristics of learning organisations. I'm sure you can recognise how these characteristics could be influenced by the deeply held and often unspoken beliefs of senior management team members. A really good example of a practical method for incorporating learning into an organisation is action learning. This diagram illustrates a process of action learning, which includes planning, acting on those plans, evaluating the outcomes, reflecting what might have been done differently, and then repeating the cycle, incorporating changes. This becomes a process of continuous improvement, to which many organisations strive. The critical thing about action learning is that you really want the people who have to make things happen in an organisation to be involved with the planning, because at the end of the day, they are the only ones who can implement the changes. If they have been involved with formulating the ideas for change, they are much more likely to be committed to implementing those ideas. This is exactly the same as the concept of market orientation that noted that sharing market intelligence within an organisation contributes to organisation-wide, timely and coordinated responsiveness. Here's another really interesting concept. Basically, what's being explained here is that solutions to problems that are generated locally by individuals who have the interest to solve them and are allowed the time and resources to find solutions are more likely to succeed than top-down structured and managed programs, regardless of how much pre-planning is done by senior management. So here I am, after almost 50 years of my working life, a decent handful of academic qualifications and research, management roles in national and international organisations, and the first-hand insights of 400 or so consultancy assignments, all boils down to 5 of my own deeply held beliefs. This diagram illustrates what I'm saying. Please note that no two organisations are likely to find precisely the same balance of concepts as another, but I'm confident that knowledge and application of each of these 5 concepts will be involved in solutions that you develop. Here's how my model might work. First, there's no doubt that organisations are already great at creating knowledge and do so through a range of activities. However, I am confident to say not all of the methods available to them are employed, which means opportunities exist to enhance capacity for learning simply by increasing the methods by which organisations use to learn. My proposal is that a small team of 3 to 5 people is assembled to solve a specific problem or capture an opportunity. Their role is to learn, to find alternative solutions, evaluate them, prioritise them, engage with management as they learn. Their primary purpose is to create knowledge. Knowledge creation groups are likely to require facilitation to guide their collaboration. They may also benefit by having their methods challenged by an external facilitator. Knowledge creation groups are not necessarily making decisions, but this needs to be confirmed as each group is established. It may be that they simply share what they learn as they learn with management. Some groups might be empowered to make decisions and implement them as part of a continuous process of improvement. These decisions need to be agreed when the groups are formed as part of their terms of reference. Finally, as they learn and ideas are implemented, modified and further developed as more learning occurs through a continuous cycles of action learning, organisations can benefit from the continuous improvement that occurs and the sense of belonging and value that team members will feel. So where do we start? We start by speaking. This process can only work if initiated and supported by senior management. And of course, senior management teams need to have strong beliefs that what I'm proposing will make a contribution to organisational outcomes. That's the discussion we need to have, and it is likely to be more than a single discussion. But I'm here and very happy to invest my time to discuss and co-create a plan with you for your business.